Thank you for checking out Lakehead International's videos. You're about to watch one of our Lakehead International live webinars, a fun and informative way to learn more about Lakehead while also meeting faculty, staff, and current students. If you have any questions throughout today's video, please comment below. Otherwise, let's get started. To kick things off, I want to welcome you and introduce Lakehead University on a global education scale. And with that being said, I always love to share more about our rankings and achievements here at our institution. So if you aren't familiar with Times Higher Education, they do rankings each and every year that Lakehead has consistently ranked quite high in, and we're always proud of that. So with the World University Rankings, we've consistently been in the top Canadian universities. This most recently, we are the top Canadian university under 10,000 students in the world. And we are also in their global impact rankings, in the top 100 universities in the world, which is very exciting for us. Here in Canada, there are several rankings that happen across the nation. And so we as Lakehead University have placed as the #1 not-for-profit research income institution here in our category. Maclean's magazine has also consistently ranked Lakehead University in our category as one of Canada's top 10 universities, #1 overall in Ontario, and first in Ontario for student awards. Now that you know a bit more about Lakehead on a global scale, I want to chat about our unique offerings here at our institution. And so, as noted, Lakehead University is an Ontario accredited university. We do have 2 campuses located in Thunder Bay and Ontario. Because it's accredited, that means that your program and your degree when you graduate is highly accredited and rigorously vetted to make sure it's relevant and that it's going to be of great success to you when you go into the job market or perhaps higher education. Currently studying at Lakehead, we have over 8,500 students from 70 different nations. Those students are pursuing 85 plus degrees in undergraduate and graduate programming, not including the different majors, minors, specializations, concentrations that you could pursue. When they're studying in those programs, they have the pleasure of participating in small classroom environments. And so on our Thunder Bay campus, we have a 15-to-1 professor to student ratio, or pardon me, a student to professor ratio. And on our Aurelia campus, we have a 13-to-1 student to professor ratio. And like I said earlier, we are a research-focused university, but we're also an employment-driven university. And so 97.7% of our grads are actually employed within 2 years upon wrapping up their degree here with us. One of those contributing factors to the high success rate is our cooperative education program, which we will be discussing in our session today. Diving a bit deeper into Lakehead and chatting about, of course, the academics here and what do we offer for our students. And so our areas of study include business administration, engineering, science and environmental studies, natural resources management, education, social sciences and humanities, health and behavioral sciences, law, medicine, and graduate studies. But of course, today we're here to focus in a bit deeper on our science and environmental studies faculty, and more specifically on physical and life sciences. So we'll be doing program highlights with applied life sciences, bioinformatics, biology, chemistry, and physics. And with that being said, I have the pleasure of diving into applied life sciences with Dr. Heidi Schraft.
Thanks, Jordan. So my name is Heidi Schraft, and I will talk to you about the Applied Life Sciences program. So the concept or the idea of the Applied Life Sciences program is that we are looking at biology, but at the biomolecular idea of biology. So we are exploring biology at the cellular molecular level, and our main focus is to explore biomolecular research, drawing from various disciplines, from anthropology, chemistry, biology, and physics. So applied life sciences is a truly a kind of interdisciplinary program. You will, in this program, do a lot of research, as you can see on this image here, lab-based research, pipetting, working with cells, working with various chemistry approaches, etc. And you will also learn various diagnostic methods that are then later used in industry after you graduate. Within the Applied Life Sciences program, you can take that broad approach and focuses focus that on various specific concepts, more into biomedical ideas, or maybe more into biotechnology applications. And I will explain later a little bit more about those opportunities. So now let's have a look at what you would actually study if you were to join APLS in your first year. So the first year, so as the second year in this program, are focused very much on setting or giving you foundations in the big field of life sciences. You will take a course in biological anthropology and archaeology. And you might wonder, how come do I take anthropology in life sciences? You might be thinking more about biology and chemistry, which you also will be taking. You're taking this first year course because in second year and third and fourth year, you will have many opportunities to explore life and life sciences and evolution from a human aspect, and that's the field that anthropology studies. So we want you to have a really good foundation in the subject area of anthropology. Then you will also take first year introductory courses, one in cell molecular biology and the other one in ecology, evolution, and biodiversity. Then within life sciences, the biology of life is founded on both chemical and physical principles. So you will take first year chemistry, that's a full year, chemistry 1 in the fall and chemistry 2 in the winter. And then you will also take a full year of introductory physics. And for physics, you will have two choices on how you approach this physics. You can either do a life sciences physics or a more harder core science physics where that looks more at that works with chemistry and physics majors together. Similarly, for calculus that's required in this program, you can either take that from a life science approach or from a chemistry physics major approach. So kind of a combination of options there. And we also offer electives throughout the program. You will have one half-course elective in the first year, and we recommend that you take an academic writing course for that. So now I want to go back to this idea on how you can actually concentrate your opportunities throughout the program. So we have various upper level courses, and here's just a few listed: forensic anthropology, human, skeletal, and dental biology. Those are both anthropology courses. And these courses would, for example, allow you, on the combination of more of those courses, to then acquire a minor in anthropology. You can also do a concentration in biomedical sciences. Examples of courses here would be the medicinal chemistry course or physiology of exercise course, or even the food safety course. And you can also study life sciences with a biotechnology approach or with a experimental life sciences approaches, so doing a lot of research work as well. So with respect to careers and advantage of coming to Lakehead University, so as I mentioned, we really focus the APLS program on research opportunities. So you will have throughout the programs many lab courses, so you get a lot of hands-on experiences, and you will get to know various professors across all the disciplines. So in biology, in chemistry, in physics, and in anthropology, with whom you are able to do hands-on research during the term and over the summer. And when you do the hands-on research during the term, you can do that as part of research courses. So instead of going to lectures and labs, you will work on a research project, and that will count and give you course credit. Lakehead, as you probably have heard and learned, is not a giant, huge university. We're small. That means we have small classes, and that allows us to get to know our students really well. So you have an easy way of really connecting with your professors and get to know them well, and that helps you if you have questions, if you have concerns. It also helps you after graduation when you need letters of reference, for example. And then, like all universities, there is many clubs and societies that you can join and get your extracurricular activities going as well. So last but not least, let's a little bit talk about possible careers. So you can see on this slide, there is a list of careers that people have been going into so far. And there's many, many more. On the right-hand side, you can see opportunities for advanced studies. So some students graduating from APLS, they will go to do a master's or a PhD. Many students in this program are interested in what we call professional schools. So they want to go into medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, veterinary school. And the courses you take prepare you for these advanced studies, because you can take the academic required courses to apply for those programs as required courses in your program. And then we have other advanced studies. Law school is an example. You see there, biotechnology patent lawyer. I have seen several students graduating with APLS, and they ended up then using their life science skills and apply it to the discipline of law. And with that, I will hand it back over to Jordan.
Well, thank you again, and thank you for sharing so much in-depth knowledge about applied life sciences and giving the audience a better idea of sort of what they can anticipate on learning and the skills they'll pick up throughout their degree, but also the unique opportunities that they'll have access to at a smaller institution here at Lakehead. So thank you, Dr. Schaff, for joining us. It's been my pleasure hosting you. Next, we're going to dive into bioinformatics. And with that, it's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Dr. Floriano, who's going to share more about bioinformatics here at Lakehead University. Over to you.
Hello. Bioinformatics is a field of science that combines computer science, information technology, biology, chemistry, physics into one discipline. It is a very fast-pacing field, and it uses computers to store, organize, query, and analyze biological data. Bioinformaticians can develop and apply computational methods and tools to extract knowledge from biological data. And nowadays, with many different developments in science, biological data is a big thing. There are tons, literally tons of biological data out there for people to sort through and make discoveries. A bioinformatician, so that could be you if you decided to come to Lakehead, typically has a very wide range of interests and feel very comfortable with things like biology, maths, and obviously with computers as well. And because bioinformatics is such a multidisciplinary field, your first year at Lakehead includes courses from different fields as well. So in your first year, you take courses in biology, computer science, chemistry, and physics, and mathematics as well. And that's pretty much what you have throughout your 4 years. You will have a combination of courses from biology, from computer science, from math, physics, chemistry, and some courses from humanities and social sciences as well. So all those courses will give you the foundation to become a competent professional in bioinformatics. And Lakehead's program has some advantages over other programs out there. The first advantage is exactly what we just discussed, exactly what we just talked about. You will be learning what you need to be a competent professional from year one, and it is a full degree. You want to have have a concentration or specialization if you want to work on bioinformatics, and you don't necessarily have to go to a master degree in order to become a bioinformatician. you will come out of Lakehead with a degree and with the correct preparation to be in the field. Another advantage that Lakehead has is that we are a small university. That means you have small classes, you can interact with your professors. We are all very approachable, and of course, I'm not biased by saying that. We are interested in the learning process of our students. We are not just interested in our research and don't care about what we teach. So that's a big difference, at least in my opinion. You will also have lots of research opportunities. Lakehead is well known for a strong undergraduate research program. And in fact, Bioinformatics as a program does require all the students to engage in some sort of research, either by developing an honors thesis under the supervision of a researcher, a Lakehead, or by engaging on what we call a senior project. And that senior project can be a research project or can be an applied project in collaboration with some company that has a bioinformatics related project that they need help with. For example, as a way to show you what research looks at Lakehead, Jordan has a international student testimony to talk about a bit.
Thank you very much. So this is actually Alejandro, who worked with Dr. Floriano on his research. When he was initially researching and exploring his options in terms of coming to Canada for higher education, he recognized that Lakehead was ranked among sort of the top research universities in our category. And so when he actually began his undergraduate studies, he was able to take part in those research opportunities and become a research assistant at the Summer School of Medical Imaging in the Thunder Bay Regional Research Institute. He was also the co-author with a professor and a PhD student on findings that he had. So in a different research opportunity that he took part in, he received a MyTax Research Award, which his professor had helped him apply for, which was a stipend funded for research related to COVID-19. And he was actually looking at predicting mutants of SARS-CoV-2 at the main protease level to determine which therapeutic options against the mutants would be most effective. So it was very interesting to sit down and chat more with Alejandro and learn more about his research throughout the pandemic. And this is just one of many research opportunities and stories that we've heard of our students getting involved. So I'll pass it back to Dr. Floriano to perhaps share more. If I'm not mistaken, you were working with him on some of this research.
Yeah, I worked in actually both projects. So in the summer of 2020, we were in the craziness of COVID-19 and everything was pretty much upside down. And Alejandro wanted to have some research experience over the summer. And because of the COVID-19, we thought that would be a good idea to try to tap into many resources that were available at that time in terms of funding. And he was more than willing to tackle a very hard and kind of cutting edge project, which was to look at a particular protein of the virus, which is responsible for viral replication, and it is a drug target. And then try to predict what happens to the interaction between that protein and a drug if mutations occur within the gene that encodes that protein. So basically, we were trying to come up with a way to anticipate whether a drug that has been developed to target that protein and therefore treat COVID-19 would still work with a different version of the virus, with a mutated virus. And then he went on to develop his honors thesis project, and I was a co-supervisor for that one.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing more about Alejandro's experience and his research. even beyond what we were able to gather when we had an opportunity to sit down with him. To our audience members, I'm sure you're curious sort of after getting so much hands-on learning opportunities and having access to some incredible researchers, where might that take me? And so that's where we come to our career outcomes slide. On the left-hand side, we have some of the industries that perhaps you may enter post-graduation. And then on the right-hand side, we have our list of careers. So I'll pass it over to Dr. Floriano to elaborate a bit further.
Yeah, so for students that have the same profile as Alejandro are interested in research, career paths can be in university research labs, medical research labs, research institutes, anything that has to do with research, researching biological data. So using computers to analyze biological data, to store, organize, and mine biological data. But not every bioinformatics student wants to do research. Some of them just want to be in a very applied field. And so there are career paths that brings you to healthcare. So you can be involved in healthcare data, which is a big thing. It's a big field. Forensic sciences, you can work in biorefining. As long as, of course, you are dealing with biological data. You can work for drug companies. So drug design, protein engineering are very strong fields that heavily use computational tools. So all of those things are different career paths that you can take. And there are some emerging subfields in bioinformatics. Bioinformatics is kind of an umbrella term that are very exciting, people, buzzword kind of thing, people hear about it and are really the way of the future. And that includes all the omics. So you have genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, precision medicine, which is also application of computational tools and methods to improve human health and so on. So there are plenty of opportunities, and anybody can find their own niche within bioinformatics.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for sharing more, and thank you for joining us to dive a bit deeper into bioinformatics at Lakehead University. Next, we're actually going to move over and shift gears and chat a bit about biology here at Lakehead. To begin with a broad overview, biology is the study of plants, animals, and the diversity of life in an evolutionary context. As a biology student, you will gain insight into how organisms interact, how genes are inherited, how creatures evolve, and much more. Our programs are practical and hands-on with research and field opportunities in almost every course to enhance in-class learning. You'll also be exposed to the central aspects of biology, including form and function, cell and molecular biology, genetics, evolution, biodiversity, ecology, and environmental biology. You'll have the freedom to study biology in a way that suits your future career aspirations, which I will discuss in an upcoming slide about customizing your program. The small size of our biology department here at Lakehead allows you to become more involved, and with ongoing faculty research ranging from ecology to biorefining. Exciting professional opportunities exist for your post-graduation plans, with further studies, of course, in medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, veterinary medicine, and even graduate school. So taking a look at your first year in an undergraduate program, students can anticipate in taking Introduction to Cell and Molecular Biology, Introduction to Ecology, Evolution, and Biodiversity, your basics of biology, essentially. They'll also be anticipated to participate in an introductory chemistry 1 and 2, and then you'll have a choice between 2 different mathematics courses. So you can take calculus 1 and 2 for social and life sciences mathematics, or you can take just the regular calculus 1 and 2, which is considered slightly harder. You'll also have a number of electives to select from, again, mentioning that ability to craft and pursue your own passions that may suit a better career aspiration. So one of those FCEs, or full credit equivalents, will be a Type C course, which is in the Engineering, Mathematics, and Natural Sciences course. It cannot be another biology course, though. One half FCE, so a half course, will be simply an elective, excluding type C courses, and you'll also have another half FCE or half course that is a full elective. Now, as I mentioned before, you'll have that ability to flex your program and customize your program. And so chatting a bit about that, we first have our double major opportunities, where a program involving two focuses of study, for this example, biology, and a second major, will allow you to satisfy the requirements of both majors and graduate at the same time. So you could graduate with biology and chemistry, or you can graduate with natural sciences and outdoor recreation. I do want to note that you would actually graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Natural Science major and an Honors Bachelor of Outdoor Recreation for the second double major. You also have the opportunity of doing a concentration, which is a defined collection of courses that are embedded into and complement the Honors Bachelor 4 years program. So for example, you could do a concentration with biology in animal sciences or biodiversity and conservation, plant sciences, neuroscience. All of these, again, may speak to some of your own passions and help you prepare for your future career aspirations. Changing gears here and actually looking at our graduate studies offering. For our graduate students that are pursuing the biology degree that is a thesis-based approach, you'll be required to take a graduate seminar, which is an overview of scientific writing, critical appraisal of research seminars, scientific review and group discussions, as well as reviewing effective methods to prepare and present research proposals, short oral presentations, and formal seminars. So this is a required component of your first year of your program. And then to build onto that, you'll also be required to actually write your master's thesis, which is considered Biology 5901. And you'll also be required to take one full credit equivalent of courses at the 5th year level. So the Department of Biology does offer a graduate program in biological sciences under the Faculty of Science and Environmental Studies. And people that complete this program will, of course, achieve their Master's of Science degree. So further on to that, and maybe as you aspire to what or where you might be pursuing some of your own research, the department's faculty and adjuncts offer exciting graduate research opportunities in areas of all sorts of biology, including studies and associations within the following. So we have the Department of Anthropology here at Lakehead University. We also have Lakehead's Biorefining Research Institution. We have the Northern Ontario School of Medicine University, the Thunder Bay Health Regional Sciences Centre, the Thunder Bay Regional Research Institute, or the Centre for Northern Forest Ecosystems Research. So these are just a sampling of the different centers or areas that you may want to focus your studies. Of course, as you aspire to go into grad programs here at Lakehead University, we strongly encourage that you do connect with the supervisor beforehand to find mutual research areas and then pursue further studies at that point. Chatting a bit about what makes Lakehead a great option, there's 3 main points that, of course, come to mind naturally with our biology program. And so first and foremost, the location and natural lab. So our location here in Thunder Bay within the boreal forest makes Lakehead University the ideal institution to study biology, in our opinion. We host intensive local field trips and field schools for undergraduate students, making the most of the environment and wildlife that surrounds us. While many other universities have to travel to get these experiences, we can host our field trips within 3 hours of your class that's typically allotted for a lab or an actual lecture. Another advantage is access to state-of-the-art laboratories. So as a biology student, you'll have access to the Lakehead University Instrumentations Lab, for example, where you'll be able to learn how to operate the tools and equipment to conduct your own research and generate data yourself. Unlike other institutions, you can utilize the lab as opposed to passing your samples on to a technician or a graduate student or even a doctoral student. So this practical knowledge actually gives you that advantage when applying to graduate or professional schools or science-based jobs. And last but not least, the exceptional networking opportunities. Our relatively small class sizes provide you with exceptional networking opportunities with faculty members, but also classmates. This is especially helpful if you're considering pursuing an honors thesis in your program or perhaps a research project, as you will require an academic advisor. Our faculty within biology is well connected within the community and within the industry as well. So making such relationships is very conducive to summer job opportunities and research opportunities. Building on to what I've already discussed, those natural laboratories, this is a photo actually in the McIntyre River, which runs through the heart of Lakehead's Thunder Bay campus and provides both our researchers and our faculty the opportunity to conduct testing and experiential learning opportunities with students. So located on the Lakehead, located at Lake Tamblin is also a dam, which includes a fish ladder for marine life to travel upstream past the concrete dam. This space doubles both as a unique learning opportunity for animal-focused students, but also as a place for students to take even a quick break from academics and just get outside and grab some fresh air. So this is one of my favorite spaces to be at in terms of taking a break and unwinding. As a business graduate, I wasn't necessarily doing outdoor classes in McIntyre River, but it is very exciting to see it happen in person and in action. As I noted, though, you'll also have access to state-of-the-art laboratories. So within that instrumentations lab, we do have the Lakehead University Instrumentations Lab, which for short is LUIL. It's a multi-purpose centralized facility which serves researchers and students from 3 different faculties and provides them with access to fundamental tools needed to do modern research and training. So one of these facilities is actually pictured on the screen. It's called the Kratos Axis Supra, which is a high-performance multi-technique surface analysis instrument combining high-sensitivity X-ray photoelectronic spectroscopy, XPS, with a dual anode A1AG monochromatic X-ray source, ultraviolet photoelectronic spectroscopy, UPS, and an ion scattering spectroscopy, ISS. And last but not least, another research center, the ATRC, which is the Aquatic Toxicology Research Center, specializes in regulatory testing, monitoring the effect of effluents on aquatic organisms from pulp and paper mills, mines, and other related industry discharges in Northwestern Ontario. So ATRC offers a full range of toxicology testing services to industry and government services. These services include acute testing with rainbow trout and water fleas and so much more. It's actually run by Dr. Rennie, one of Canada's research chairs in freshwater ecology and fisheries, and the ATCR has been operating at Lakehead University since 1970. The acute test, now the tool that is used to monitor environmental discharge across Canada, was actually developed at Lakehead University from what we refer to as the bag test by Professor George Osborne in association with the Canadian Environmental Protection Services. As the only acute toxicology testing facility located between Southern Ontario and Manitoba, ATRC provides services for clients across Northwestern Ontario. So as we come to a wrap up on our biology section of our presentation today, you may be wondering what career opportunities are going to be available to me. And so we've grouped them into 3 different categories. You may wish to pursue molecular biology, and you perhaps may see a career that jumps out at you on the screen. Perhaps you're going to pursue something along the lines of ecology and evolution or bioinformatics. These 3 groupings and the career opportunities that are listed on the screen are by no means an exhaustive list, but they are rather an idea of where you may be able to take your degree. And coming back to what I said earlier in today's presentation, the fact that you'll be able to actually craft your Lakehead degree and choose electives that may help you pursue career aspirations down the road will really speak to that Lakehead experience that offers a great path forward. So on that note, it's been a pleasure. And next we are going to dive into chemistry.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm Mike Campbell. I'm one of the faculty members in the Department of Chemistry, and I'm excited to talk to you today about the chemistry program here at Lakehead University. In chemistry, you'd have the opportunity to study and really focus on whatever area of chemistry interests you, whether it's analytical, biochemistry, inorganic, organic, physical chemistry. And we also have computational chemistry, where you look at how molecules interact by making computer models. One thing that's in common, no matter which area of chemistry that you go into, is we really put a high focus on hands-on learning. And because we're a smaller school, you get that opportunity from a very early stage in in your academic career. And on that note, I will pass to Christine Guittardo, who will talk to you about the first year.
Thanks, Mike. I know that's really an important question for a lot of students. What am I doing in first year? How many classes do I have? How many lab hours do I have? And so this is, well, first year at a glance of an undergraduate degree. We have very specific courses that are designed for our chemistry and our biology chemistry double majors. And we would advise you to take the chemistry 1111 and 1131. Now, the lecture portion of that course, which takes place over 3 hours a week, is the same as the other students taking chemistry. However, the labs are specially designed for chemistry majors, and you do a little bit more in 1111, but you get to learn all kinds of new techniques. And we always make sure that one of the faculty members, other than the course instructor, is in the lab so that you get a chance to meet more people that are involved in the department that way. You'll also have to take Calculus 1 and 2. Now, if you look at the course calendar, you'll notice that there are 2 different calculuses available. And we will tell you, you need to take the Mathematics 1171 and 1172. It's a higher level calculus for the students who are in physical sciences and mathematics, and you'll need that breadth and depth of experience. The same thing is true for the physics, Introductory Physics 1 and 2. And I guess I neglected to tell you how long labs are in chemistry. They're 3 hours a week. So 3 hours of lecture, 3 hours of lab. Calculus, 3 hours of lecture, 1 hour of tutorial a week. And both the fall and the winter look exactly the same. And then in physics, again, 3 hours of lecture and 3 hours of lab on alternating weeks. Then you get to choose an elective, and we call them type A or type B electives. That's a humanities course or social science. Take something that really interests you that's different from chemistry. So maybe you were good at French. Maybe you're interested in a couple of music courses. That's the place where you can sort of explore a bit more of the university. And then finally, one FCE elective from, well, it depends. What are you most interested in as an extra science? Is it anthropology? Is it biology? Is it computer programming? Or is it geology? So in your one FCE elective in this last grouping, it's hard to say how much time that will take because all our courses do in fact have 3 hours of lecture a week, but some have alternating labs and some have perhaps just tutorials or practice sessions. So it's looking pretty heavy right now. You're looking at quite a few hours a week. But that's to get all of the information you need and make sure that you're prepared as you move on to your next year. And Mike, do you want to talk about what comes next?
I will. So when you're going into chemistry, you have a couple of different options. One of the things that we often find is that there's students who are really excited about chemistry, they're really excited about biology, and they're not necessarily sure which way they want to go. Well, one of the things that's really nice is we actually have a double major here at Lakehead University where you would, at the end of your degree, you essentially would have all the requirements for both a chemistry and biology program. So that's one option. We also have an option which is really tailored to people who have a strong interest in medical sciences. So this is sort of a curated collection of courses where students will take things on drug design. They'll take courses on medical imaging, learn how an MRI scanner works, learn how radio tracers work. We also have access to a cyclotron facility here in Thunder Bay, which undergraduate students are able to be involved with as part of their research projects. And essentially, we really try to make sure that you have as many options as possible when you're going forward. And of course, in addition to these, there's just the traditional chemistry major, which lets you sort of focus on whichever area of chemistry you're most interested in. And over to you, Christine.
Thanks, Mike. I think we're going to talk about some of our graduate programs next. So we also offer graduate programs in chemistry. We offer a 2-year master's, which involves a thesis, and we also offer PhD programs in chemistry and material science. So a master's thesis-based master's is very different than a course-based degree because you only take 2 FCEs, that's 4 half credits worth of courses, and the rest of the time you focus on your research. As you're applying or looking to apply, make sure that you've lined up a supervisor so that you know that there will be a place in a research lab for you. What will happen over the course of your degree is that you'll have to propose the research. The thesis proposal usually occurs in your second or end of your second semester or in your third semester. And at that point, you and your supervisory committee will meet. That committee is made up of your supervisor and 2 other faculty members who are in the same area of research. At the end of your research, what you're going to do is have to present a seminar of your thesis results and defend that information. Now, remember, you'll be the expert in the room. So although the defense sounds like rather a daunting task, by the time you get there, you're going to be very good at it. You also have to write a thesis, and that is a document that describes the research that you have completed. It's an exciting opportunity to do some really high-level chemistry. Mike has already mentioned some of the different facilities we have. I mean, in terms of access to cyclotron, access to MRI. And the nice thing about coming to Lakehead is that you would get this kind of access not only as a graduate student, but
as an undergraduate student as well. And that's really one of the advantages I think we have at Lakehead. There's a lot of schools where you can go to study chemistry. But one of the things that I think is unique about Lakehead is we really try to get students having a hands-on experience and really getting involved as early as possible. There's research opportunities throughout your undergraduate career where you get to work with professors. There's summer research that goes on in the various laboratories where you can be involved doing real research and get your name on papers and really get a good feel for, is this the area of chemistry that I want to focus on? The other thing that we try to do is we try to make sure that students at a very early stage have access to the best equipment possible. So the MRI, the NMR machines, all the analytical equipment, that's not just restricted to graduate students and the faculty. We try to make sure that there's opportunities for students who are interested to get their hands on and really use some of this instrumentation from an early stage. Now, Christine will talk a little bit more about some instrumentation.
Okay, so we've got a slide here that's labeled Lucas, and that's the Lakehead University Center for Analytical Services. And some of the equipment that Mike has talked about already, so for example, nuclear magnetic resonance, or NMR, is housed within that center. So we do give our students opportunity for hands-on training. And the other thing we do for our students who are doing a 4th-year honors thesis is we provide them with a course. And in that course, we give them both the theory behind the instruments as well as hands-on learning experiences in those with that instrumentation. One of the comments that Mike had made was about working in or being involved in research in the summer. And I'd like to change that a little bit to say it's working on research. And so you are in a paid position where you would have employment, and it's a great research opportunity for our students. I think we're about to finish things off in our next slide, are we not?
So where will you end up after doing a career at Lakehead? Well, one of the big things is it opens up a lot of doors. Chemistry is really one of the central sciences. It's sort of connected to geology, biology, physics, and sort of fits right there in the middle. So by focusing on chemistry, it gives you a lot of opportunities to go in many different directions. And a lot of that will be dictated by what excites you, what you find interesting. And what you'll probably find is, I know this was my case, is what I thought I was interested in when I started wasn't necessarily what I was interested at the end. So quite often the journey is the part of discovering what you're going to be excited about. And we're happy to work with you and see where you end up and help you along the way.
Awesome. Well, thank you again to
Thank
the
you.
2 of you for joining us. And I'm happy that you mentioned that students will have that ability to sort of curate their own Lakehead experience and also find where their passions lie and what they're going to be successful in that might steer their future, whether that's perhaps pursuing a career out of graduation or going into higher education and academia perhaps one day. It was very insightful to have the both of you here, and I want to thank you once again for joining us. Next, we're going to dive into physics with Dr. Gallagher.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Well, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the study of physics, and in particular physics at Lakehead University. Well, I guess first of all, what is physics? Well, it's the study of the universe, whether it be the largest entities in the universe, such as galaxies, or the smallest subatomic particles, such as quarks. It's the most fundamental of the natural sciences, and both through theory and experiment will expose you to the laws of nature. Within your studies at Lakehead, you'll be exposed to various aspects of physics, such as quantum mechanics, lasers and optics, nanotechnology, medical physics, amongst others.
So before we dive into actually chatting about first year at a glance and the undergraduate and graduate experience, I know in our conversations we chatted about how professors and researchers will actually provide students with hands-on learning training, as well as emphasize problem solving with the most advanced technology and mathematical methods. So that gives you a brief understanding of what physics is here at Lakehead University, but I'll transition over and pass back to Dr. Gallagher, who is going to share more about what your undergraduate first year is going to look like.
Oh, yes, thanks, Jordan. Yes, so here is essentially your first year of physics, which is not dissimilar to first year in some of our related disciplines in the physical sciences. So as you can see, there's two half courses in introductory physics, which involve 3 hours of lectures a week and 3 hours of lab. Inevitably with physics, the theoretical aspect is intertwined within mathematics, and throughout your studies of physics, you will be taking a number of mathematics courses. And at the first year level, we introduce, you take 2 courses in calculus, both calculus 1 and calculus 2. In addition, to get a broader understanding of the physical sciences, we require 2 chemistry classes. And also these days, it's invaluable to become comfortable with computer programming. So we require a computer programming course. And beyond that, your first year would be quite flexible. We allow you to choose 3 elective courses, and really this is wide open depending on your interests. Some students will pick other science courses such as geology or biology, while others will take history, English, and in fact, popular one amongst our former student or current students are philosophy, for example. So that's our undergraduate program. We also have a master's program in physics, both a thesis-based program and a coursework-based program or project-based program. So initially, let's focus on the thesis-based program. That, as the name implies, the real focus there is a master's thesis, where you work in collaboration with one of the faculty members in the department and do original research in areas such as nanotechnology, biological physics, medical physics. I'm forgetting one. I'm sure mathematical physics is another one, but that's the focus. Beyond that, though, we do require students to take 2 FCEs of courses. One FCE will consist of core courses such as quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, or condensed matter physics. And the other FCE is in elective courses, which would really depend on your choice of research topic. So as far as the project is concerned, the project is a smaller project that may not be research-based. It could be research-based, but perhaps it's a literature survey of current state of the art in a particular discipline. There, the focus is more on courses. So you have to take 4 FCE elective courses. Again, sample courses would include statistical mechanics or physics of medical imaging, solid state physics, again, depending on your interest or on the type of project you would choose. So what is the Lakehead advantage? Well, I think whether it's at the undergraduate level or at the graduate level, it's small class sizes and accessibility to faculty members. Within physics, it's certainly research opportunities. A large fraction of our undergraduate students, for example, before they graduate, would engage in research activity with one of our faculty members at using state-of-the-art experimental or theoretical equipment. So really, that's what we have to offer. The real advantage that we have to offer at physics, as opposed at Lakehead, as opposed to other institutions.
I'll jump in here. I know that physics and several departments within science and environmental studies have actually worked closely with the Thunder Bay Regional Research Institute to expand sort of knowledge on medical imaging, for example, with Dr. Ala Resnick. And that offers both job opportunities, but also internship opportunities and beyond the classroom to enhance your own learning. So for future students joining physics, that's just one of the many opportunities you can look forward to. And looking beyond those opportunities within school, you may be already considering, what are my career prospects? What jobs can I anticipate on getting? So by no means is this an exhaustive list of jobs. I'll pass over to Dr. Gallagher to share more about that and some of the rankings we have on the screen here.
Okay, thanks, Jordan. So as was mentioned, here's a list of job titles that and career opportunities for graduates. And rather than just reading through that list, I thought I'd highlight some job titles and companies that recent alumni are working in. For example, we have a number of recent graduates who are research scientists, both in the public and private sector. For example, we have one student who is working at a quantum computing company named Xanadu that's based in Toronto. 2 other students are working at accelerator facilities, the Triumph facility in British Columbia and the Canadian Light Source in Saskatoon. We have several graduates who are now meteorologists and working with Environment Canada. Also, a number of medical physicists. We actually have 2 alumni who are medical physicists here in Thunder Bay. Also, some alumni working in hospitals in the Ottawa region. And the last example I'll give you is you can also go into academia. So one of our recent alumni just accepted a position as a faculty member at the University of British Columbia.
Awesome, very exciting. And to cap things off in terms of career opportunities and outcomes, we looked to some of the best resources, one being the Canadian Association of Physicists, where they shared that 97% of physics graduates actually reported that their training had contributed to their careers. 98% of physics graduates are employed right now. And then from the Wall Street Journal, when looking at career prospects, they actually said that physics graduate salaries are on average among the 6th highest out of 50 degree majors. So that's out earning most engineering graduates, all business graduates, all finance graduates. And so that just gives you a quick idea of what your potentials could rank up to be. As Dr. Gallagher mentioned, Of course, we've seen some great success in where our alumni have gone in recent years, and we hope that one day you'll contribute to the same when you graduate with your Lakehead degree. So thank you again for joining us, folks. This does conclude our formal presentation on physical and life sciences. It's been my pleasure hosting it, and next we're going to dive into the Q&A period. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, I want to encourage you to comment below or connect with us on social media. We can be found at Lakehead International on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for watching once again, and hopefully we'll see you at the next live webinar. Bye for now.